So, after the new mining and smithing rework, I decided to do a little research, and after I found the Benite sword, which could be tuned to Revenant, I decided this is actually a pretty good chance to quickly kill Revenant, which are in Wilderness. And right now I'm wielding a two-handed Revenant Benite sword, and I'm trying my luck with a Revenant, of course. After I got the Ribs of Chaos for the Ellie pet from Chaos Elemental, I decided I wanted to get the title Chaos, which is pretty hard because of the all ancient warrior equipment and corrupt dragons, which are usually get from the Revenant. And the problem with Revenant is that they can heal. So I decided to try two different modes. One is Legacy mode and one is the evolution of combat. And I realized that in Legacy mode you can actually one-shot most of the Revenants except the Revenant Knight and Dragon, which have pretty high health. And the Revenants also heal a lot slower than in Evolution of Combat. So in Evolution of Combat they heal the same space as you can heal, so almost every single tick. So the problem in Evolution of Combat is that if you don't do enough damage, you basically can keep hitting them but they won't die. Meanwhile in Legacy mode you can particularly hit them over half of their HP and mostly two hit them or one hit. The only good thing in Evolution of Combat is the skill when you do 200% of your base damage, but you also receive more damage. But since the Revenants don't really do a lot of damage, even if you pray magic, you basically don't need any food. Okay, from time to time, if you fight the Dragon or the Knight Revenant, which have particularly a bit higher defense and even do a lot of damage. But still, I figured out you can actually kill them really fast, and it's pretty easy to get the loot from them for the Chaos Element loot tab. So I was recording here for quite some time, a few hours of doing Revenant, and I got quite a few drops. It's not really good money making method per hour, so mostly basic boss thinking God Wars 1 or 2 is a lot better, or Queen Black Dragon. But if you need the Chaos title, the best option is to create the Revenant Bane sword, but for that you need to get the corrupted Stage 6 Warhammer or Vista Sword or Vista Spear. Unless if you want to make a two-handed, which I prefer, because it has the highest accuracy than the offhand and main hand Revenant sword, you need two of them to create it, which is around 500k, and the rest is the Benite ore. It took me around 45 minutes to make it, and I have to say it's totally worth it. I even got the Sifu attack pet while doing them, which I was quite surprised, but they can be actually really worth it. I even got in the early few kills the ancient statuette, which is worth 5 million GP. Then I realized I still haven't done the Haunted Mine quest, from which you can get the Salva Amulet, which boosts your damage and accuracy by 15% against undead, which are also Revenants. And after that, I killed the Mutated Ark for the enchanted version of Salva Amulet, which boosts for 20% the accuracy and damage against undead, which is also really useful against Revenants and also the Barrows brothers, if you also want to get a title from the Barrows or their loot. Especially the Derek, who can hit you really high the lower his HPs. So yeah, the only problem here is that you can be exposed to PKers. After a while, I also, when I was doing them, So here is the loot, the price of all the statues you can get or the items.
Bye, have a great time.